Greetings, and welcome to Red Swordfish. I'm Joshua. That's Connor. And tonight is the night of Halloween. Midnight. Well, like 12:43. And tonight, we're going to tell you a story. The scariest story you've ever heard. That hasn't actually been written yet. What are we doing?
This is a terrible way to return to the channel, because we
Yeah.
haven't been on the channel in a while.
Yeah.
Basically, we're going to try to write a scary story right now, and it's got to be the best one ever.
Mhm.
It's got to be terrifying.
I guess this is sort of like a pitch for a horror movie.
Yeah,
That's gonna get made one day.
hopefully. If they really want to scare anybody anymore, they're going to have to make this.
They're gonna have to turn to us.
So Halloween has already passed, so this is like a post-Halloween story. Halloween happens, right? And then it ends, and bam, no one cares about Halloween anymore. You can't keep watching scary movies.
Yeah.
The stores, they throw out all their Christmas stuff, and they tell you to buy a turkey. And it's like, well, all that hype and build-up, and then just boom, nothing.
So this is what happens after Halloween.
Yeah, this
is when Halloween continues.
What type of scary story should this be?
A monster movie, obviously.
A monster
Um,
movie. Okay, so how should we open it?
Well, let's set our story in a town cloaked in fog most of the time. Sometimes like Sundays, sometimes there's not
A little
fog.
misty.
Little misty on Sundays,
But,
but most of
kinda
the
like that.
time fog. The town is called Keyvale.
Keyvale. Why Keyvale?
I don't know, man.
Okay, we'll start the story at a graveyard.
Graveyard.
This is where the story begins here. Actually, no, right outside the graveyard. It's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they're walking down the street. They've just come out of a Halloween party. Try to picture this.
I'm picturing.
And the guy sees the cemetery, and he says, hey, we should go in there, right? It'll be funny. And she's like, no, let's not do that, because she doesn't want to.
Can he be named Johnny?
Absolutely, that's a perfect this guy kind of name. Is Johnny.
He's that guy. His name is Johnny. He's blonde. He's got a comb, I guess.
Yeah, just go full stereotype here. So Johnny wants to go into the cemetery.
Johnny and Lucy Lou.
He says, hey babe, let's go into the cemetery.
No, Johnny, I don't want to go in the cemetery. I don't like scary things.
Come on, it'll be funny.
Stop it, Johnny.
Come on, it'll be funny. Okay, they're in the cemetery, right? And they're walking around. And she's like, oh, I don't like this, right? Like, I don't like being in the cemetery because it's creepy. And she looks around, and suddenly, Johnny's not there.
Johnny?
Johnny's missing.
Johnny, where are you, Johnny?
Yeah, like that. So she looks around for a minute, and she hears, there's a sound.
It's not just a sound, though. It's like a metallic sound. It's like a metallic click, like steel being contorted.
Okay.
But like mixed with something guttural.
Okay, and she says, stop it, Johnny. It's not funny anymore. Just come out. I know it's not funny anymore.
Johnny doesn't respond.
Stop it, Johnny.
Johnny's dead.
No, Johnny's not dead yet.
He's not dead?
No, he's not dead yet.
Okay, Johnny's gone.
Johnny's still alive.
He's missing.
Good for Johnny. Yeah, Johnny's missing. And so she's calling out to him. She's like, stop it, Johnny. It's not funny anymore. And then suddenly, at a quiet moment, suddenly jump scare. Something jumps out. It's Johnny.
Johnny!
Right? Because he's a jerk, right? So he jumps out. He scares her. And then he's laughing like, oh, you should have seen your face, huh?
Johnny, let's go home.
And then suddenly, something that we can't see starts to walk up behind Johnny. And just as we realize it's coming up, we cut back to her. And then she screams, right? And then something happens to Johnny off camera. Right? We don't see it. So she's running, right?
Okay, we have to put something actually like properly scary in there. As the monster is approaching, the wind kicks up. The wind starts
The
blowing.
wind. Oh, okay. The wind always kicks up when the monster is near you.
We don't know this yet, but this is our hint.
Right. So it starts getting really windy all of a sudden, and that's when it comes up behind
Like
Johnny.
a swirling thing, but they don't notice. They're caught
They
up
don't
in their
notice.
little argument.
They just think it's cold outside. It's a cold night. And, right, so Johnny dies, and we don't see what killed him. Right. So she runs away. The monster's obviously chasing her, but we can't see the monster. We're just indicating that the monster's chasing her. And then she trips, and the monster gets her. She screams, ah, right, and then we cut.
Okay.
And then we cut to whatever setting our main characters are in. Okay, we'll have it be the main character will be a kind of nice guy and a kind of nice girl, and they like each other, but they, they haven't quite gotten
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And we have a lovable friend.
Nice guy, nice girl,
Yeah.
lovable friend.
Right.
The girl's dad is a firefighter. Everyone sort of likes him. He helps out because it's a small town. Not much happens.
So he's just the firefighter.
He's the firefighter. I like that.
We
so
can
his
call him like Firefighter Supreme.
fire. Okay.
Let's just go full superhero. We'll call him Firefighter Supreme.
I'm confused, but
He's got an emblem on his chest. We'll just FFS.
FF.
Firefighter Supreme.
It's like
What's it called again? What's the foggy town?
Keyvale.
Keyvale. Okay. Why Key?
I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's mysterious sounding.
Keyvale.
So-
I can't believe you're not eating candy. It's Halloween. Do you not have any candy?
They didn't have candy in the Victorian era. Sugar cubes.
Is that what
and-
you're dressed up as? Someone
Yes.
from the Victorian era?
Yes. What, you
Okay.
couldn't tell? Look, I have a poof. And a neck fabric. And...
It's not very scary, though.
What are you dressed up as? What's your scary costume?
Scariest thing of all time. I am dressed up as a millennial. Terrified.
Okay. Heart attack scare.
Wreaking havoc.
Oh.
I am the ultimate scare.
Okay.
Well, okay, how about this? We'll say that our main guy here, he's working at like a shop. When the girl from the previous scene, you know, the monster's about to get her, and then it cuts, right, really suddenly, and it's the guy like slamming a can down on a shelf because he's putting cans on the shelf, right? So that's how we get to our scene where he's working in there, right? And then our girl comes in, our other main lead. She comes in to see him, and they have like an awkward interaction, right? Our lovable friend, she shows up, and we realize, okay, this is our like main cast, right? And then, you know, the main character's mom comes out, and he says something to him that doesn't matter about like what he has to do later. So he's going home. Now we've cut to when he's going home later. Here's what we'll do. He's walking home, and then the wind picks up.
Yes! Yes!
So it's like this swirly kind of wind thing we've seen before. So we know, like, oh no, this is the monster.
He keeps going. The wind gets stronger. He's going, well, what's going on? We hear, somewhere in the distance, we hear the sound of metal and steel, like, contorting, because that's the sound of the monster.
So he rushes home because he's scared, but nothing happens to him, right? Because he has to get away.
The next day, he wakes up. He's eating breakfast in front of the TV,
Right.
and the news is on. Chet Strongbow
That's pretty good.
is our news anchor. He's sitting there. He sounds like this, and he's
Strongbow.
Chet Strongbow, news 45 at 1.
There's numbers out there.
The scene of a murder is found on the corner of 82nd and 3rd. Our main character, Henry.
Henry.
Our main.
Was that his name?
Yes.
Okay, we didn't name them. Wow.
Our main character, Henry. He's sitting there. He's watching the news, and he says, "82nd and 3rd. I was on 84th just last night. The murder happened a street over from me.
Okay.
We heard
What?
the sounds. We saw the wind, but it wasn't after him. Someone was being gotten by the monster
Ah, okay.
at that very instant. Let's say his love interest lives on that same street.
Oh, where the murder happened.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He goes to the
okay.
street. He passes by the crime scene. He's relieved to see it isn't her house. He goes up to her house. She's a little bit shaken. She knows who was killed. Doesn't matter. It's just some person was murdered. It's a violent scene. Let's say all of the moisture had been sucked out of the person's body. So the movie goes on. People keep getting killed, all sort of in the same area. And then our main cast of characters decide, we have to figure this out. We have to figure out what's going on. So they decide, we're gonna find the monster. We're gonna
Okay.
go after it.
Okay.
We're gonna catch it.
This is wonderfully cliche, actually.
Oh yeah. You really have to be eating the candy while we're shooting the video. It's very distracting.
Have to.
We're trying to do a thing and you're just eating. Likeable friend. She's always teasing
Okay.
our main characters. She wants them to get together.
Oh, right.
You know, she's that kind of person.
She makes everything very uncomfortable for the other two.
But she's likable.
Right. Well, you cut her some slack.
You cut her some slack.
Okay.
So they go to Firefighter Supreme. They go to his fire station. It's not much of a station. It's sort of a shed. But,
Okay.
you know,
He doesn't even have a real fire truck either.
no. It's just sort of a van with a hose.
He's really just the guy who's taken up the responsibility of firefighting.
Yeah, it's not
with his
government
consulting.
funded. He's
No,
just a good guy.
he's just a good guy.
But
Also
at the same
possibly
time,
a superhero.
possibly a superhero. But he's got some expertise. He confirms their monster suspicions. He says, these bodies, no one could have sucked all of this water out of them. He's concerned for his daughter, but he's a good Samaritan. He's proud of her for taking up this mantle. So he says, go for it. He gives her his blessing. At this point, they know what the monster is attracted to, what the monster is doing. They find out that the monster is attracted to drug addicts.
So the monster's going after somebody that's got something in their system. So maybe the monster's just a drug addict. Really.
Okay.
He's inherently, because he's getting the drugs out of the people.
Okay. So he's
like, that's science, right?
yeah, let's say, can we say it's weed?
Yeah, sure. The monster likes weed.
The monster likes weed really bad.
Right, okay.
But only once it's been once it's in the system.
Okay.
Our monster is a Coloridian Republican
Okay.
who's against the weed,
Right.
but he's kind of on the weed because
Okay.
it's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And hypocrisy
Yeah. Which is very popular these days.
hypocrisy is the real monster. But our main characters, they figure out we have to attract the monster. What do? Well, we gotta get a whole bunch of weed. They break open their piggy banks. They clear out their bank
No, wait a minute.
accounts.
No one has a piggy bank anymore.
They got a piggy.
Well, you know, it's
the
a movie,
lovable,
right?
The lovable friend. She's got a piggy.
Okay.
bank.
All right.
She's lovable.
All right.
So she breaks open her piggy bank. They go into they buy it. They get some of the good stuff.
Okay.
They get the weed.
They get it from Sammy,
Sammy.
the local weed dealer. He's got sunglasses and kind of a shape
You know,
that...
it's a small town. Everybody knows him. You know,
Everybody knows
hey,
Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy.
Sammy.
Sammy
the weed
dealer.
guy.
He's got like shades. He's got those shades that have like blinds on them.
Oh yeah.
Except they're like
Shutter
they're
shades.
They're not those really bad ones. They're like fully functional. Like if you pull the
Oh.
cable, the blinds actually open.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
close.
That's a cool guy.
That's how cool Sammy is.
He's so high all the time. They find Sammy's stash. He's got a crate, a wooden crate of weed.
okay.
They take it from Sammy.
What, they just steal it?
Sort of. They leave the money, but you know,
They leave the piggy bank behind.
they leave the piggy bank. So they get the weed.
Right.
They go out to the outskirts of the town. They light all of the weed on fire. The monster smells the weed. The
So the
monster's
wind starts
coming.
picking up.
Wind starts picking up.
Okay, yeah.
It's blowing the smoke. The smoke is mixing with all of the fog that's already there. The whole town, at this point, is kind of having a hard time. Everyone's, you know, a little bit, you know, whoa, because
Okay.
they're burning this crate. This is a horror movie. And what's the monster? What does the monster look like?
He's got beefy arms. He's got a tail.
Tail,
The legs are nothing special, but he's got
Okay.
beefy arms.
Beefy
They're kind of
arms.
serpent-shaped.
like an S.
That's
okay.
a good design.
It's sort of a dragon-looking thing. It's got wings. That's where the wind comes from. Not large wings, but furious wings, flapping. A gust of fire shoots out at our main characters. They
Okay.
jump out of the way.
They were gonna fight the monster, but they realize they're way in over their heads.
They're over their heads.
So they
This
they
thing
run.
is huge.
So they run.
They
right?
run.
But it's going after.
It's
them,
going
right?
after them.
So it chases them through the town.
It chases it's shooting fire as it goes.
We'll have them all on bikes because
It's
you
a
know,
bike
I
chase.
realize that Stranger Things did bikes, but like
Everything does
everything
bikes.
does bikes.
Bikes are cool. I've got a
Bikes-
bike. I
yeah.
ride a bike.
He rides a bike around. It's a thing people do. You know.
Roger rides a bike.
And it works for this because in a lot of monster movies, you know, if you want them to have a car,
Mm-hmm.
they can't really have a car because it's too OP.
Yeah.
So the car just doesn't work. You know, they get in, it's like, oh, it doesn't work.
You
oh.
want to avoid that.
Yeah. So you want. So
They got bikes.
They got bikes. So the
This
monster
monster-
chases them. No one's been able to really get away before now.
No.
This is where it becomes the scariest story ever told. The monster chases them into Walmart.
What? No, we can't do that.
Yes, we can. The epitome of fear. They don't really have a plan because they thought we're just going to beat up the monster. So they brought like fireplace tools and they were not well equipped for this. They thought they were fine, but they weren't. So they get into Walmart. It's chasing them all over the place.
But they go to the freezer section.
They go to the freezer section.
It's freezing cold. It's
freezing
It's
cold.
always freezing cold in the freezer section. No matter what coat you wore.
No.
No matter
does not
no matter whether it's summer, winter, fall, spring, whatever. It's freezing in the freezer section. And they make it worse. They tempt fate. They open all the freezer doors.
Oh, that's what they figure out they
There's
have to do.
there's a Walmart employee in the back room like, hey, don't do that. You guys get out of here.
But there's only one guy.
Only
Because
one guy.
Walmart, they don't really have staff.
Understaffed.
Understaffed always.
Especially in the small town. But they open the freezers. This thing on its little legs, beefy arms, wings. It's burninating the aisles.
Burninating?
Burninating. I made up that word.
Is that something that the monster does?
It does. The monster burninates.
Burninating? Okay.
As it goes.
All right. I like this
So it's
concept.
burninating all the aisles. It's burninating all the people. But it starts slowing down. It's cold-blooded. It gets to the freezer section. It drops.
Okay.
Passed out.
Monster has fallen.
The monster has fallen. They've done it. They've defeated this burninator. Police show up. They're like, wow, you kids did an amazing thing.
In such a scary environment as the Walmart.
Yes. So we're gonna make this movie. It's gonna happen. Call us, Hollywood. We'll write it. We'll send it to
I'll
you.
direct it for you. You don't even have to pay me.
No,
I would do it for free.
we don't need money. We can just eat like scraps.
We're just here to tell the scariest story ever.
Yeah. No, we don't.
That's all we want to do.
We don't ask for much. Just give us a budget of like 25 million.
Now bump that up a little bit.
Okay, 75 million.
Yeah, that's there. That's better.
Just give us 75 million. We'll make it. We'll bring in the best people in the business.
You can do those commercials where it say, critics are saying it's the scariest story ever told, which it is.
Because that's what's...
Just look at the title.
Yeah, that's the title of the movie. The scariest story ever told.
And we'll do that thing where we show like people in the movie theater with night vision cameras. They're watching the movie and they're like, no,
I'm
right.
so scared of these
Because-
bees around me.
Because that proves to people, look, these people found it scary, and you're just as much of a wuss as they are. So you'll find it scary. And I think that will go over very well.
I think there's no way it can fail. Let's do it.
I agree.
All right.
I'm ready to do it.
So yeah, thanks for watching. If you were scared by that, I guess fill up your bathtub and cry. I guess.
It's a good plan.
Ah, jump scare. Vampire. Oh, I hit the phone. Vampire.